Good evening. Welcome to Simple Confident Cooking. I'm Anna Nicolatas Darden. I'm so glad you can join me this evening. So hello everyone in the studio. And everybody at home, thank you so much for being here. Please feel free to message questions into us or video chat, and then we would love to have a conversation with you while we're cooking. And so hosting parties is one of those things that feels a little bit intimidating, and it's actually quite fun to do. And these are a few of my favorite things to make during the holidays. Pretty much any time I have a bunch of people coming over, because they're great to do the prep work ahead of time. And once you've got everybody there, you can kind of have your prep work done and just do some kind of finishing touches to make it amazing. So the first thing I'm going to do is deviled eggs. And it's one of those kind of old-fashioned ones that it feels so simple and so basic, but very few people do them really great. And I think that it's just a really special, easy, filling thing to do, and we're going to give it a shot. So here's how I like to do them. After I boil my eggs, I stack them in a little Tupperware container. And what's great about this is then you can have them cut, you can have them all prepared to go, and I'll even have my mixture already made in a Ziploc bag, which looks really gross, but I assure you is so helpful. So what we're going to do is just when you are at home, you can get this part ready. And so just cut your hard-boiled eggs in half, and then you're just going to simply scoop out your little egg yolks in here. And then I would just stack them here on your heads down so that they don't tear while you are traveling to your friend's house, or even if you're having people come over to your house, you can have them already in the fridge. So you can kind of give them a light squeeze and the yolks will pop out. I like to cook them on the stove at about probably about 12 to 15 minutes. I don't like hard-boiled eggs super hard, and some of the things that make it easier to peel the eggs is if you put a little bit of baking soda in while you're cooking it, or and then peel them under hot water. That helps a lot. I like Best Foods mayonnaise. It's one of my kryptonites. And I put in probably almost as much mayonnaise as I do the eggs, just because I want to be able to have a nice full filling in when you pipe them in. So you want to kind of bulk it up a little bit. And then I use horseradish. I don't like the prepared horseradish, so I use just straight up horseradish. And I'll put a good healthy teaspoon in there. And then I also like Dijon Mustard for them. And I love these new containers because you can just squeeze it out, which is so fun. So easy. So that's all you have to do for that.
Sorry to interrupt your magic, but does the egg really matter?
Yes.
Any kind of egg, duck egg? Or?
And you know what? If you have some kind of cheaper eggs that you get on the bargain, where you get like 3 dozen for $5, they're really gray on the outside and really dull coloring wise. And if you have good farm eggs, they have a bright yellow color to them, which is great.
Sounds a little pricey, but worth it, right?
Totally worth it, and much better for you. And the chickens can walk too, because they're not so much hormones.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Anna, you had equal parts mayonnaise in that, plus pretty much a tablespoon of horseradish. How much mustard do you think?
I did about a little bit more horseradish, but it depends on your horseradish or mustard that you're using. So if your mustard already has quite a good deal of horseradish in it, you maybe don't want as much. I like them a little bit. I like them to have that little bit of kick to it. So I usually do at least a good tablespoon.
Thank you.
Yep. And you can do less if you don't really care for mayonnaise. Creme fraiche works really well, or sour cream. And if you want it super creamy, you can put it in like a Cuisinart. And another way that you can cheat if it's not quite as bright yellow as you're looking for is turmeric, which is a common Indian spice. And if you put just the tiniest bit of it in there, you can see kind of on my finger, it turns it already a bright yellow color. And just a little bit of it will give it a little bit of a pop to the color, so that it looks a little bit more vibrant when you're cooking it. And that's about all. And so then once you have that part completed, this is what I do, is I pipe it into a Ziploc bag, And everybody sees this and they're like, that's really nasty. And you know what you should do is get a real piping bag like a normal person does. The reason why is because, look, I cut off the corner. This is why I love this. And I have my little eggs here. And then I just turn this into a piping bag. So then all you have to do is squirt it right in there. And you're done. How awesome is that? And then I can just store this one back in the refrigerator until I need refills. And then how I like to garnish it is just some fresh dill and chervil. Chervil looks a little bit like a cilantro, but it doesn't have quite, I don't know, it's sort of an unusual, it's good French herb. Has kind of a nice, I don't know, kind of a neutral flavor. It's not real distinctive, but it just has good character, and they're pretty little leaves. So I put a little bit of a fresh herb on there. I like the freshness. And then if you like a fish roe, that's one of the things that I like to do on them too, because it looks kind of festive. If you have any beet juice or cranberry juice, anything kind of red, you could put the tiniest dot of it and make it kind of a bright red color, which you'll see a lot of times. They'll do kind of at sushi bars sometimes. And it's kind of a fun way to do it that makes them look really festive. I probably should have put this on before I put the herbs on top, but that's kind of a fun way to do it too. And there you go. You're already with hors d'oeuvre number 1. So the next thing we're going to do is, let's see, we'll put these ones over here.
Can you show that off to the camera one more time?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go. Both hands.
It's funny because every time I make these, I think that people are going to be asking me why, you know, they're not going to be a very big hit. And it seems like every time I do bring them, they're the first thing to go and the first thing people ask me to do the next year. So I think that's a good sign. But they're really quite simple to do. The next thing we are going to do is kind of a similarly simple one that you've probably, it's kind of funny that I'm doing this, but it's one of the things where, like, when people come over to your house and you cook a lot, you kind of don't like people bringing pre-prepared things necessarily. You're kind of like, oh man, we went to all this work and you just bought that at Safeway. So this is kind of a funny one because it's, you know, Lipton soup mix and sour cream dip. It's one of the ones that one of my really close friends always shows up with. And it's so good that nobody can ever stop eating it. And it's kind of it's kind of fun of those bad good ones. And so what I like to do is make it from scratch. I usually use shallots for this, but I didn't have a whole bunch of them at home, so I'll use just some red onions. And all you need to do is, and this is how easy it is, and then it's actually even better. Saute a few onions. You can put some garlic in there if you want to. Sometimes we've done it even with some jalapeno or like a little bit of a hot pepper. It gives it a little bit of interest to it. And we'll just give this a quick chop. And then all you need to do is really cook these quite quickly till they're a little bit golden and translucent. You don't need to cook them down real far. Just a little nice saute works good. Plus it always smells so good in your kitchen when you're doing this. And you can make this the day before, so it'll be like already in your refrigerator ready to go. So that's easy to do too. And we could add we'll add a little garlic today since I have it here. And you can make it more interesting adding herbs or adding like all kinds of spices in your cupboard if you want to. I like it kind of plain, but it's me. And so we'll give that a quick stir. And then I have about a half a cup of mayonnaise here. And we'll just stick that right in there. And your pan, you'll see, will have a little bit of a browning on the bottom of it. That's okay. That's really good flavor. And you can use something like a sherry or a white wine to do a quick deglaze. It's going to pop around. And it pulls up all those flavors off the bottom of it, and your alcohol will burn right off, which is nice. And then especially if you have kids at your party. And then literally all we'll do, at home I'd probably wait for this to cool down slightly, but for the interest of time, we'll just put it straight in. And that's it. Mix this in. Now you already have one dip for your crudité. So crudité is a fancy French word for basically saying raw vegetables. And that's kind of how it goes. So it sounds really fancy, but it's super simple. And so we'll just mix this with a little salt. You can put some pepper in here. And then I like it with just plain potato chips. You can get fancy and make your own chips or your own kind of vessels at home too, but this is kind of a fun way to do it. And we'll just put a little bowl of it here, and we would serve this right with your same little vegetables. So, So what I did for the crudité today is I did some carrots that I peeled ahead of time. I like to leave the stems on because they look kind of cute that way. And then the broccoli, I just kind of give it a quick blanch. But then it's really easy. My sister-in-law always does it in these little different sizes of jars and cups, which I kind of like because then it's really easy to present it. And then ready to go. So then, let's do another one that is a salmon dip. This one is one I would usually do at home in my food processor, but it's really easy to make it without it. You get a nice quality smoked salmon. I was in a hurry and got a not nice quality smoked salmon, but it works just fine. So it's not quite as easy to flake, but you can just kind of pull off some big little pieces of it. Or if you like it a little bit smoother, then you can throw it in your food processor at home. And that's kind of a fun way to do it. And what I like to do for this one is just a little bit of plain cream cheese. So this is about 4 ounces of salmon, so I would do probably a little bit less cream cheese, maybe 3 ounces. And kind of your standard package is 8 ounces. They have these fancy little marks down here, so you don't even have to measure. You kind of look here and cut off a chunk that's about the right size for what you need. So we'll do about 2.5 ounces, I guess, here. And let's see. Oh, please, I need a fork. Sorry, you can cut that out later.
Behind you.
Here? Where? Well, I'll use a spoon. Spoon it is. So we'll add a little bit of fresh lemon in here, a little bit of olive oil, and I would do chives at home, maybe some fresh herbs. You can do some kind of like, instead of chives, you could do shallots, kind of a mild onion would work really well for this as well. And let's put in a little bit of chervil and the dill in here too. So dill is always fabulous with salmon. And so we'll give that a little chop. You don't need a lot of it. If you have it growing in your garden, a lot of fresh herbs, anything fresh, parsley would taste really good in here. You just want to have a good amount of freshness. And let's see, we'll put a little of that in. If you have a zester at home, or the zester really works the best for this. But a little bit of lemon zest, especially if you have a good lemon. Wash it first if you bought it at the grocery store, because it might have a little bit of wax on it. And give it just a little grate of the lemon zest. And then we'll just mix all this together. Oh, I need a little bit of olive oil in there too, I think. That'll make it a little bit nicer. I wish that I had a fork right now, but I don't. And that's how it happens sometimes when you're at home, so here's how it goes. We'll just give it a little mash. How's everybody doing today?
Great!
Oh, there's the enthusiasm here.
I'm hungry.
So what are some of your favorite things to do for hors d'oeuvres? Are there any things that you like to learn, or your favorite things that you always do? Shrimp, yeah.
I just keep staring at the meatballs, but let's talk about salmon. Does the salmon really matter?
Yeah, the salmon definitely matters.
Like cured salmon, poached
A
salmon?
smoked salmon is good. You don't need a whole lot of it either. You just need kind of to get like four ounces or so. Will go a long way. This is 4 ounces. You can see this is making maybe about a cup and a half of dip, probably, and that would go. I probably at home I would do this in a food processor for 2 reasons. It'd go a lot faster than I'm going at the moment, but it also would make it a little bit smoother. Sometimes, depending on how you're serving it, you're kind of looking for the texture. So if I was doing it just with like a vegetable, then in that case, it probably wouldn't go quite as good if it's chunky. But if you're using like a chip or something to dip it in that case, it works really great for that. So there you go. That is number 2. 3. We're already on number 3.
Hannah,
Yes.
do you think that any other smoked fish would go well with this
Yeah,
kind of arrangement,
absolutely.
like trout or?
Yeah, trout would be fabulous. Any sort of a smoked fish, depending on how strong or how mild you enjoy it, anything like that would work perfectly. Yeah, good question. Now we're gonna do this is one of my favorite ones, and I think all of these ones are hopefully pretty simple for you to do at home. That's the plan here. And what you can do is just have plain blue cheese if you want to. Depending on which one you get, I like a really soft one. You can see this one has a really soft texture to it. It's very creamy. And especially if you have a lot of guests coming, one of the things that I like to do to kind of make it spread out a little bit is make it into a little bit of a dressing rather than just having big chunks of blue cheese. Also, it makes your flavoring a little bit more mild. And so I do the same thing with mayonnaise. It's just convenient because it's always in your refrigerator, but if you have time to make an aioli at home, that's obviously going to be a lot better to do. But it's always in my refrigerator, so it's kind of nice when you have a bunch of guests coming over and you are not planning on it, or even if you are planning on it, sometimes it's just nice to be able to grab there exactly what you need and be able to know that you can throw something together really quick. So same thing, very similar process as we did with the salmon. So we'll do a little bit of lemon, and we'll do a little splash of olive oil in here too. And so basically what we're doing is making kind of a blue cheese salad dressing, essentially a little bit thicker, but that's basically what we're doing here. And we'll put a little bit of honey in too. So that's going to bring out a little bit of sweetness.
So Anna,
Yeah.
what is your favorite blue cheese to use?
Saint Angor is probably Saint Angor is probably my favorite one. This one I got at Trader Joe's, and I'm forgetting the name of it. I have the tag over there. But really anything that's a very soft texture, that's what you're looking for. So if you are picking something up, a lot of cheesemongers will let you taste it. If you go to like a Whole Foods or something like that, they'll let you taste it. But what you're looking for is the texture. So if you just even pick it up, smell it, that it has a good fragrance to it. You can smell that through the wrapper. And then also feel it. If it feels really firm, probably not the best one to use for this. Yeah. Saint Angor is almost like a Roquefort. It's quite a strong cheese, but I really love it. So we just mix this up really quick. And then what we do with these little boats is...
Cut those right, Chef.
Oh, thank you. So you get these little escarole, radicchio. My brain. This is like my longest month of the whole year at work, and my brain is fried. I'm sorry. Endive. Yes, we've got a winner. You win the endive. You're gonna take it home today.
Fancy name for radicchio.
Microphone.
Radicchio. Yes, it's in the same family, I think. So you can just kind of pull off these little stems, but the further you get in here, the longer your little stem gets, So what I usually do is kind of chop it, and then it's really easy to pull off these little ones. And you also have a clean cut at the bottom, and then you can see as you get further along, it's harder to pull those off. And so then I just chop another little ring and keep pulling them off that way. So usually I will do a great big plate of these. And there's so many different ways that you can fill them. These have a pretty mild flavor, but a slight bitterness to them, which is why I like to do a little bit of the honey in there. And so we'll do, basically what we do is just take your little spoon here and make a little pile of it inside of your little lettuce here. Yes. Do you say endive or endive? Endive.
Endive, of course.
I just want to make sure you knew. My little French expert in here. So you'll just kind of pile the little blue cheese in here, and you can do just plain blue cheese if you want to. You could do them kind of like, kind of with the same way you would do kind of a Cobb salad with bacon and tomatoes. You could kind of go that direction with them. They're really good with if you put something like a pancetta on them. I love pancetta. That's one of my favorites. Pomegranate seeds are so good because
Bacon.
it just
In
bacon. That was the first thing I said, bacon. And then yes.
Have you ever put your deviled egg stuff on there?
No, but I bet that would be delicious. Let's try
I've
it.
had it that way.
You have? Oh, that sounds good. I love that. That sounds really good. I like to do pear or persimmon. Those are kind of some of my favorite ones to do. And then all that I do is just cut some little tiny slices of it with a little paring knife. Pear with a paring knife. And then you can just kind of stick them in on top here. I like to have something fresh on here too, so I like to kind of hit the salty, sweet, savory. You want to get kind of all of those all of your senses involved there, all your taste buds involved. Hi.
Question, Chef. Can you ever slice the pear too early?
Yes, you can, and they'll get kind of brown. So this would be kind of the last minute thing that I would do. Like how I did this to prepare for the show is that the endive I did at home. I kind of cut those and prepared my leaves at home, and then usually I would do the blue cheese portion at home too. But the pear, your fruit, I would probably do at the last minute so that looks nice and fresh. And then some candied nuts. These are super easy to make at home, but you know, if you're kind of nervous about entertaining, then sometimes you can just buy some of the things that you're kind of nervous about making, or you don't have time to make, and that will save you a little heartache there. My husband was teasing me about my 80s garnishes, but I like my parsley because it's fresh and it's delicious. Don't put the whole plant on there. Just put a little tag.
I love the 80s.
Me too, right? I like to do just a little splash of that on there, because then you get a little greenery on there, but also the freshness is nice with kind of, if it's starting to feel kind of heavy. Blue cheese is heavy, honey is heavy, and the parsley is going to give it some lift. So like chervil would be good on this. You could do kind of a mixture. During the summer when my herb garden is really amazing, then I'll do a whole bunch of different stuff on here. Usually I do some pomegranate seeds because they're bright red. But we're going to do a bunch of cocktails today too. So I'm gonna just whiz right through this. Because we need to know how to make some good cocktails. And my dear husband has been preparing for just such this moment. So.
You ready for cocktails?
No!
Okay.
Just making sure you're still paying attention. Just making sure. Okay, but I am ready for you. You can come up here. Come on up. Bing, bing, bing. We've got a winner. Okay, so we're gonna make
May I
meatballs
prep behind
first.
you? Be at the ready?
Oh, sure.
I'll just prep
But we're
behind
gonna make some meatballs.
Meatballs time. Meatball time.
Yeah. So for meatballs I love. They're so great to make ahead of time and have get off. I just hope you can try it. Meatballs are great to make at home. So there's something that you can.
I love you.
Thank you. Welcome. Glad you
It's
could
great to
join
be in your
us.
kitchen.
Yeah, nice to have you here.
Put me to work.
He just follows me around. I don't know. So we're going to do a little bit of butter in here. And I
Butter.
like to start off with meatballs. I like to saute onions and garlic.
Sauteing the onion.
Yeah, I do not like to just have straight out raw onions, because then when you cook, you still kind of have that raw onion taste. That's not good. It's not good for anybody's breath. It doesn't taste good. It's just a bad idea. And you can just do a really quick saute. So I did some red onions. At home, I just did a really fine dice of these because I just want little pieces in there. I don't want like a big onion bite. I just want a
All
little
of it?
accent. Sure, put it in.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. You're a chef.
Don't be scared. Just
Okay.
stick it in. Good. And then we'll put in some garlic.
Garlic.
So we'll give it just a quick chop. I don't put the garlic in yet because it'll burn super fast. So I just do this right at the end, just when I'm finishing up. So we'll give that. Oh, thank you. So we'll give that a nice chop while this is cooking. And in the meantime, so I have a lot of vegetarians in my life, and so I figured out one that I really love to do for vegetarians. We use the onions for both of these. With walnuts and cheese. The cheese and mushrooms. And the mushrooms give it a little bit of a meatiness and the earthiness. The walnuts give it some really nice texture. The cheese gives it a little bit of fat and holds it together really well. So it's become one of the ones that I really like to do. How do the onions look?
Almost translucent. Is that
Good.
caramelized
almost,
or
yeah, just a minute
caramelized?
longer. We'll give it like another minute.
Minute. 1 minute.
Yep.
Try that.
Yep, you can try it. Okay, so for the vegetarians, what we are
Smells
doing
so good.
is we're gonna do
Garlic in?
about put the garlic in, sure. For the vegetarians, we're gonna do about a couple walnuts, and I toasted these ones last night. You wanna just toast them at like 350 in the oven for about 10 minutes, 10 or 12 minutes. Thank you.
You're
Can I
welcome,
borrow
Chef.
that? Thank you. So we'll do just a nice rough chop of the walnuts. You don't want to have great big pieces, but you also don't want them super fine. You can buy them already cut up for you too, so you can even skip this part. You can buy them toasted, dry, but if you get them toasted, make sure that they're dry roasted, no salt, no flavorings. You just want plain walnuts, and they're super good for you too.
May I deglaze?
Yes, deglaze, please.
My favorite part.
Just a little bit.
My favorite part.
You don't need too much, just like a good, plenty.
Smells like a spa.
So then we'll do about the same cup of grated cheese. So if you're in a hurry, you can grate this at home. I put my husband to work grading. So that's and then I would do also for this one we would do a little bit of sautéed onions. So let's put some of the onions in with the beef, and then we'll do sauté a couple mushrooms
Is this the
too.
look we're going for?
Sure, that looks beautiful.
Okay.
About half going here and about half going here.
Okay.
Got it? Here, do this one first.
Wait.
I'm just confusing you.
That's half. And one more, yeah?
Okay, and then we'll put some in this one too.
Okay.
And then we'll do, we'll saute up a couple of mushrooms too.
Shrooms.
So a little bit more butter goes in the pan. And we're gonna do, it's nearly the
Same
same
pan,
process.
really?
Same pan.
Cool. Are you French?
Yep, exactly. And you may as well just do it all at once.
Oh. Elbows in.
We'll just use, if you just have one pan, then you have one mess to clean up. So we'll do about maybe a cup of mushrooms. I just use just a plain cremini mushroom works great for this. You don't need anything fancy for it. Do just a little bit of butter or olive oil.
How about butter and olive oil? Just a
Okay,
little.
butter and olive oil, either one. I have the butter right here, but either one will taste just fine. And so we'll do maybe about also a cup. So we're doing about equal parts of cheese, walnuts, and mushrooms. And then just use some sort of a little breadcrumb. I have some panko at my house, so that's what I'm going to use today. They're easy to make it yourself, but we'll do a little handful of those, about maybe a cup will go into each of these of breadcrumbs. So it's going to add a little bit of texture, and it also is going to add, well, it adds texture, but also helps hold up everything together.
Binding.
It's a binding agent. Yes, especially for the meat one, it's going to be a binding.
Okay, but the mushrooms, the key is the cheese and
The cheese is really helpful for the vegetarian version because as the cheese kind of melts, it helps solidify and help hold everybody together in there. And then I like to do some fresh herbs. I'm going to do a pomegranate molasses. So in this case, I'm kind of doing a little bit of Middle Eastern flavors this time. We're going to do some fresh mint. And all you have to do is just pull against the stem, and it's really easy to pull them right off. I had these going in my garden. They're so easy to grow. And
the French like to deglaze. Should we deglaze?
Yeah, go deglaze. Always deglaze the mushrooms. I'm not French, but I love deglazing. Go for it.
I love the French.
Go, go, go.
My first one was Lafitte.
Get glazed.
I like it. I can smell it. I can smell it. So where
Okay,
does this go?
how do the mushrooms look?
I would absolutely eat it. I would absolutely eat these mushrooms.
Okay, let's look at them. These look good. So they have a nice brown color. You always want to make sure your mushrooms have enough space so they can brown properly. So that's perfect. Let's stick them in here too.
Thank you.
They look beautiful.
Can we saute something else?
Nope, we're done.
Okay. Should we have a cocktail or are we still?
30 seconds. Woo.
Okay.
So we'll do.
I'll clean the pan, chef.
We'll do it. Oh wait, here we can give these a quick saute. Actually,
Saute.
I like to just wilt my herbs. I usually
Really?
put these in with
Oh, you've never wilted your herbs in front of me. That's different.
Yeah, our relationships have graduated to a new level now. So we'll just give those a nice chop.
Okay. Same pan.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Sure. I usually would toss them in maybe with the onion, but I wasn't done chopping yet, so we'll just stick them in now. I am doing about maybe a half a cup of parsley and maybe a half a cup of loose mint. There's so many different kinds of mint. I just like a traditional winter mint is good.
It smells
You just
terrific.
want to wilt them. You don't really need
Just
to
real
cook
quick?
them. Yeah,
All right.
just really quick.
Just
You're just gonna and then mix them, take them off.
mixing them, taking them off.
Yeah,
Okay.
take them off. Just wilting. That's it. Keep it off the heat. Yeah, just wilt it.
Thank you for holding my hand.
You're welcome,
My
boo.
wife loves to hold
Okay,
my
half
hand.
here, half here.
So, okay.
Yeah. Okay, and then half here.
This is cool.
It's good. He coaches me all the time at home. This is really fun.
This is humbling. This is humbling.
Okay, that's good. Okay, now we'll do an egg in each one. And we'll do one egg
Oh,
there.
that looks pretty. Look at that. So that's a kit, right? This is everything's gonna come together
Yeah.
eventually.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then all you have to do is kind of mix these kits together. So what I would do at home is mix it with my hands because especially the beef, we had a little domestic squabble about this earlier today. He like pressing it in like, no, don't touch my meat. You gotta keep it.
Finesse the meat.
Yeah,
you have to
finesse it.
cup it. You have to finesse
You
it.
want to not. Yeah, you want to keep it nice and light, and you want to touch it as the least that you can because it's going to get tough if you overplay with it. So what I would usually do at home is kind of play with it. Since I don't have a great way to do that here, I would do that with a
Should we do
spoon.
the Ziploc?
Sure, if you want to.
Yeah, it's just fun.
Okay. And I have about maybe about a pound of ground beef here. Lamb would be awesome to do with this too.
Right?
Okay, go for it.
You do it.
Yeah, you can. Do you want to do it?
You do it.
Anna, what percentage of fat for your ground beef do you like to purchase?
This is at 80%. For meatballs, I kind of like. You can see I'm not scared of fat in other places.
So
Oh,
why
I
were you
figured
saying-
this out last night.
We invented
I
this last night.
couldn't find gloves, so I did the Ziploc because I was practicing to see, and that actually worked really good.
Gonna do this
So you
one?
could, yeah, you
Okay,
can mix
good.
it in.
All right.
We'll have Ziplocs. This is what I do with my Ziplocs. I use them too much. I love Ziplocs. But this way you can kind
It
of
works
dig
great.
in there
It works just fine.
and keep your hands clean.
Yeah.
Actually worked really good. I couldn't find gloves that weren't latex because I was looking for the show. But at home, well, you can wash your hands right away, and that's easy. But
James,
just
now
wanna
you
give
have
a
it.
Light.
Ziplocs are the duct tape of the kitchen.
It is. It's a zip. It
Besides the
is.
hands, yeah?
Okay, I'm
Right,
done.
c'est bon?
Are you done?
I'm done. Okay. Throw it away.
Good. Good
Okay.
timing.
Yep.
Now we just make these into little balls, and we bake them at 425 for about 20 minutes. And so when they come out of the oven, what they're gonna look like, ta-da! Your beef, you want to make sure that it's cooked in the middle. So I usually do a sacrificial one that has just you want to make sure that all the pink is out of it. And I'm not looking for a lot of browning yet. And then we'll do like a little barbecue sauce to go over the top. Barbecue sauce usually is one of my things that I make in the summertime when there's great tomatoes. And I love to make it homemade. But it takes a long time of love and effort to do. So a really great way to do that.
I just love staring at them, that's all.
Thank you. A really easy way to do that yourself at home with ingredients that you already have on hand is ketchup. Ta-da!
Is your
I love
friend.
ketchup.
Is your
Ketchup
friend.
is your friend.
Is your friend. Yes. is
Again,
your
we got
friend.
the nice easy squeeze here. I like Heinz the best. It's my favorite. It has a good amount of vinegar in it. So for the barbecue sauce, I would do maybe probably about a cup of ketchup. And then we would do
Here, put it on
some.
there. Show the people on the cutting board, yeah?
I was going to
Okay.
until you moved that. You guys have these problems too.
That's all right. Honey, you married it.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. That's very nice. Okay, so then what we'll do, let's see here, is I was looking for one.
Hey,
I'll
leave.
use this one's good. So we'll do also, you want to have a good amount of sweet and tangy in here. So we'll do probably a good half a cup of brown sugar. Most recipes are always tell you to pack it down, but I don't think you need to pack it that firmly.
That was very enthusiastic brown sugar.
Yeah, about half a cup. About half as much sugar as the ketchup.
And the cayenne's
then,
just for the balance of it.
Cayenne's going to give it a little bit of heat. I thought I brought some molasses too. This is a really cool secret. Oh, over there. We have, this is a really cool secret, pomegranate molasses. This is kind of something that's in a lot of chef kitchens, home kitchens, and you probably, maybe have never heard of it before, but it has this really neat, so pomegranate molasses is a sweet tangy. Regular molasses is going to be like a sweet bitter. So I like to do a little bit of both of those. When I'm doing barbecue sauce for like ribs and stuff at home, sometimes I like to put some chicory or long peppercorn. I get a little bit exotic with making it at home. I'm always trying different combinations. But just this combination will give you a really good flavor. Bang for your buck. It's a really fast way to do it. And when we get into, maybe next summer, we'll do homemade barbecue sauces where we do it all the way from scratch. But if you gotta just fudge it in a few minutes, this is a great way to go.
Yeah, that's definitely fast track. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
You taste it?
Some garlic. I would put some garlic in here usually. Did I bring some here? I would usually do a little sprinkle of garlic. If I did real fresh garlic, I would do. We could put a little bit of salt. Wherever you have sweet, you'll want a
Garlic
little
salt.
salt.
Garlic salt's fine too.
Garlic, you could use a garlic powder would work good, or if I did a fresh garlic, then I would cook this for a few minutes, and I want to strain out the garlic so it's a clear sauce. So then you can put a little bit on the back of your finger and try it out. Back of the finger.
Back of the finger.
You ready? And then try it out. See what you think. What does it need?
Why do you do the back of the finger?
I don't know, because then I don't get my spoon dirty if I pick a different finger while I'm cooking.
Soak in it.
No, that's what James does. I'm like, get out. I do the back of a finger because then it's kind of a
Well done with the burn.
We're done. Yeah.
Okay.
So now all you have to do
Anna,
is put this
you-
on. Yeah.
You don't need to melt the sugar?
Nope, because you're going to put this back in the oven for a few minutes, and then it'll kind of caramelize for you. So with the vegetarian one, you're going to have kind of a nice golden color to the cheese on here, and then I would just dab a little bit on here, and put it back in the oven to bake for about another 5 or so minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. And that's going to kind of help your sauce to cook all the way, and it'll also kind of help it set the glaze on top. Let's do some cocktails.
Cocktail time.
Okay.
All right.
It's always time for cocktails. And you know, there's so many ways that you can serve these too. I like to do them warm, but when you're serving, when you have a lot of people over there, meatballs work really good when they cool off. They still taste very nice. And sometimes I put them on a couple of them on one skewer, or I'll stack a bunch of them in a bowl. That's usually how I do that.
Cold glass. Always have a chilled
Okay.
martini glass. Always have a chilled champagne glass.
James is my right arm when we do cocktail parties at home, because it's hard to manage entertaining and doing the food and cocktails all at the same time. So my husband's job is always cocktails. My
Absolutely.
job is
Set
getting
the
the
atmosphere.
food.
Set the atmosphere.
Yep, and James is always on cocktail duty. So what are we gonna make for cocktails?
Let's start off with some bubbles at French
Okay.
75. Oh, I
Good.
gotta go to the fridge. I gotta go grab the sparkling. Let's see. Things that go into French 75. Little
French
Bombay
75.
Sapphire, lemon juice.
Good. And for this one, we will use champagne glass, champagne for champagne.
Yeah, but you know, just with champagne, you can actually have, you know, a good alternative is that Saint Germain. I tell you what, that's.
Saint Germain is one of my favorites. It has it's actually elderflower. It has a really neat floral sweetness. It's kind of fun. I love it with this. What kind of champagne do we have today, Chef?
Chandon.
Chandon.
Absolutely Chandon.
Okay. So now that the glass is cold, what's our step? Woo!
Whew, first step is to just take this ice that you have in the chilled glass. There you go. That's how you're gonna hopefully use it. I just tickled the glass.
Woo!
That's never happened quite like that.
Ziploc, save the day.
So things that we're gonna add, you know, we just need a little shaved twist,
Okay.
if you could, of the lemon. That would be
Now,
terrific.
do you want a twist or a zest
Or
or
just a nice shaved long
Okay,
piece,
I'm ready.
so we can finesse it in there. So all you need for a French 75 is just a little gin.
Okay, so vegetable peeler.
I just finished the gin, honey. I'm sorry. Again.
Again, that's never happened before,
Lemon juice.
ever. Okay, how much lemon juice?
About a 1 count. That was a 1 count. So it's kind of almost like a 2 to 1, if you will.
Okay, so then like a teaspoon?
Yeah, just a
Okay.
little bit of that. And
This is why James does cocktails. Mine don't come out as pretty. Okay, zest?
Oh, almost. Just incorporate it.
Okay.
You know, it is just that simple. And then what you'll do is you'll just finesse it in there, like so. Oh. It's a little
That's a
icy.
finesse.
Yeah, so much for the.
That was a lovely finesse. I love it.
Well, actually, you could drink it just by itself,
Okay.
but I mean, here comes the champagne.
Okay.
I like to say it's harder than that, but it's just that easy.
How come you pour it so slow?
Because I'm a som. And finesse with the twist.
What happens if you go really fast?
Oh, it'll bubble up too much, yeah?
Mr.
And they'll go
Som,
over the
is
top?
that sparkling, Napa sparkling, or is that really champagne?
No, it is Napa sparkling wine. It's not
This is,
traditional.
and this
It's
is a
traditional
question-
chef de métier, blah blah blah. Nothing champagnois. Ooh la la, my French
So
is
this is the
terrible.
questions that we asked me, Anna,
That's
if
right.
you're watching, earlier today. So for California champagnes, to me,
good.
there's several
C'est bon.
really decent
C'est bon.
ones that are in a very reasonable price range of like $20 to $40 a bottle. So if you're not quite sure what to bring to a party, Chandon has some very nice ones. Mom, Broder, Iron Horse, Schaumsburg, Domaine Carneros. There's a lot of, here in Napa Valley, we've got a lot of really great ones. You can't really go wrong. Just find something in that $30, $20, $30, $40 range, and you'll be safe. Get a good Napa Valley Sonoma producer.
Awesome. I love
And
this cocktail time.
Brute.
Right? It's all good. So
Okay.
the reason why I love this is because
Steer away from cooks. Steer away from.
it's a perfect start, though, right? You can go all night with this, and don't let the smooth taste fool you. It's the gin
All right, let's try it
that
out.
counts. Yeah, give it a go. So next, I love
Ooh,
brown
that's
liquor.
nice.
If it gets right
This
about
looks nice and
September,
fresh.
yeah, right.
And you can
And
put
you're
basil
welcome.
in it too.
And you're welcome.
Thank you. That was
You're
delicious.
welcome,
I'll
man.
take
I
this.
love you.
All right.
Okay. We talk about some brown liquor. We know we love our bourbon.
Yeah.
I love bourbon.
Okay, bourbon.
Good Lord.
What are we gonna do for bourbon?
So right about the end of September and October, I just have this like instinctiveness to drink brown liquor. So the easiest thing for this here, 2 to 1, 2 to 1, 2 to 1, which means 2 to 1, literally 2 ounces to 1. So
And what these are is
this is a little bit of bourbon,
Bourbon,
as you can
okay.
tell, beautiful Kentucky bullet. This here is a pretty simple, straightforward commercial, if you will, sweet vermouth. The combination between the bitter and certainly the bourbon, and we're gonna finesse this, we're gonna do a kind of Napa style, if you will. We're gonna finesse it with some Grey Meunier to finish at the end too.
you can do some.
Actually, you know what? Let's try it on that. That's what I should have done. That's where it was supposed to be. My apologies.
Oh, let's try this now.
I have so many ingredients. I have so many ingredients up
Even
here.
better.
Yeah, that's the finesse. My apologies.
Actually,
that
I
is
like
the
it better
finesse.
without. I like it with the Saint Germain.
Really?
That's what
Really?
I.
Okay, all right.
Just a splash.
To each his own. Well, this goes with that, but
Okay.
let's go with the 2-in-1 here. We'll be real quick. Here comes your 1-minute cocktail.
Okay.
Literally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. So how much is that?
2 ounces.
2 ounces. What would be that equivalent? Like 2 shots.
Like
have a shot
like a 3-second count. 1, 2, 3. And this is your
Have a pour,
yeah, with the pour.
not out of the bottle.
Not out of the bottle. Well, out of the bottle it would be 1, 2, 3. So this would be 1, 2.
All right. Good. You got it.
That's your 2 to 1. Hey, you know what? If you screw up, think of it like cooking. Volumize it. Just make a big picture of it, and everybody's gonna win. That's how you get past that. So anywho,
Can I
what
get the ice out here for you?
you know what we need to do is actually do this wonderful. This is what my wife has had for, gosh, since last year. It's marinated brandy cherries. So
Oh,
what
yeah.
we're gonna do?
But it's cherry season. Brandy cherries are so easy to make. They're
$10.
literally brandy cherries, a
So-
little brown sugar.
And this is just a dash. Voila. That's pretty much it. That is pretty much it.
It also works kind of good as a bitter.
Yes, absolutely. And if you could just do this, there you go. Spin that around and spin that around and
Okay, if you
go ahead and dump that right down there. And so the whole idea is to incorporate all your liquors. Make them sing. Make them sing. And if you could, just dollop a
How
little.
important is the ice that you use? And
Oh.
how important is the amount of time that you're stirring the ice? Like the little things in the cocktail.
Yeah. Well, you know, I hate to quote him, but I will. Thomas Keller. He loves finesse. When you make a cocktail, it's all in the finesse. It's all in the ingredients that you use. It's all respecting the ice that you use. There's a reason
cherries in.
why everything was so cool, because that's how you celebrate a true cocktail. So when I spin it like this, all you're getting is just the nice cold fluidity of the 3 ingredients that you use. And this is basically the finish.
Yeah, don't overmix it. Just like your meat, you don't want to bruise it. Just give it.
There you go.
Good
And this whole long thing, that means nothing. It just looks good, doesn't it?
Looks good.
It looks wonderful. And you're welcome. Third.
Keep going.
But that's,
All right, thanks.
try it. Give it a go. We have one more cocktail to go. We call this next cocktail
Good.
Kiss Me Santa.
Kiss me, Santa.
Wish me good luck. We just tried this last night. It was part
We
of
made
our.
this up last night.
It was part of our R&D, research and development.
Yeah.
Needless to say, it wasn't boring. Let's see here. Yeah.
So at my sister's house, I had this
Thank
really
you. Yes.
good.
Break some time.
I had this really good candy cane cocktail. It was one that you don't want to be driving after you try, but it was delicious. And so we wanted to come up with something similar. All right, how do we start?
Things that go into, let's just show off what we have here. Wait.
Okay.
So, the key ingredients, and we'll be done here literally. This is a 2-minute cocktail. It's not going to take us that very long. But what we need too is ice. We've got some ice here. I got it here. All right. So instead of your 2-to-1 with the Manhattan,
Can we grab that?
this is simply. Oh
Oh,
yes,
sure, yeah. We
Just a lip.
What does it mean?
Get a professional in there.
There we go.
There we go.
Take some.
So what else are you doing?
We're
No,
gonna.
I'm just
This is the. And it's still. Yeah, I'm not going to. I'm out tonight. It's okay. It's okay.
Cocktail.
Just gonna
What are we
say.
gonna do now?
So real quick, this is a simple one. Now I say 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 certainly, or 2-to-1 for the Manhattan. This is just 1-to-1. One of this, one of that. So we've got 1.5 ounces, and then we splash it with the peppermint. Absolutely.
If you have a shot glass at home, this is also a good way to measure how much. And really, you want to keep your proportions equal. It's not quite as crucial how much you have it, but your
Absolutely.
proportions are.
Put a tape on the.
Maybe a little bit more.
Okay.
Just a little bit more.
1.5. Okay.
Well, almost like 2.
And what is this one?
So this here is probably one of the most unique vodkas I've ever had. It's a double chocolate Chopin vodka.
Chocolate vodka.
So chocolate vodka. And we're just gonna put that in there, and we're gonna
So
1, 2, 3, 4.
I keep like looking at the Smirnoff. Is that your favorite vodka? Is that something that you're being paid for? Or, you know?
We aren't
No.
sponsored by Smirnoff,
No.
but we think it's simple. I mean,
Smirnoff,
I was,
motherfuckers,
let's
bring
talk
it
about
on.
the texture. It's not too sweet.
It's not too sweet, yeah.
very
A
balanced.
vanilla vodka, you can make it home, which I probably would have done if I had planned this cocktail ahead of time. With vodka, your favorite vodka, and put some whole vanilla beans, and that's the best way to do it. 2 weeks, you got yourself a vanilla bean cocktail. So that would be
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
That's,
Yeah.
that's a long time for
2
something,
weeks later.
isn't it?
See, and I just
Yeah. I mean,
this
like,
time
you know,
around did not
I
not
mean, this is
prepare.
America. You want this
far
now.
enough.
Now.
So
now.
the rim didn't go quite perfect, but let's just finish the cocktail.
Okay.
So what we'll do, and that's it. So what we have is just 1.5. Let's just call it 2. It's Christmas. 2 ounces, and you finish with just a couple of dashes of this peppermint. We'll use the where's the stirrer here? Do we have
This one?
that?
Do you want this
No, maybe not. No. Okay.
Oh, right there, boo.
Oh, where?
There.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Save the day.
Yes, thank you. And we'll give this a big stir.
You know you want to try out the Ziploc kit.
Yeah, everybody's doing it. And as you can tell, it's getting nice and frosty, almost cappuccino-like, if you will.
Okay.
And simply put, I think the best garnish on here is going to be peppermint. So as we finish
Do
this
you ever
cocktail-
shake or do you just stir?
You know, I like the finesse of just stirring. I'll be perfectly honest with you. You can shake your cocktail and just shatter it to all kingdom come. But when you respect the cocktail, you stir it.
How we did
You're
this
just gonna stir
at home when we were practicing last night is
Oh, hello.
we just banged out a couple of candy canes
It's
to
still
make them
pretty.
really
It's
soft.
still pretty.
But sugar, if it gets too warm or any moisture in the air, it's gonna not keep its texture very well. Which
So
is
what we'll
why it
do
didn't
is
work
we'll just
out.
garnish it right on the middle.
Nope, that didn't work out.
That didn't work out. But now we'll garnish it with the chocolate, and then this is where the chef gives it a taste and kiss
Okay.
me Santa.
All right.
Kiss me Santa or kiss me chef.
Ooh.
You liking your toast?
Yeah, it's nice because it has the chocolate isn't super sweet. The mint
That's
gives it a
great.
little bit
Get
of
outta
a lift,
here.
and the peppermint gives it a little bit of the lift, and then it's like walking through the forest on a cool day.
My
It's
goodness.
lovely.
So yeah, the combination. Hey, you don't lose your
By the way,
man.
he made fun of me a long time for this cocktail. He's like, "You're taking away my mint card." I'm like, "Every girl in the United States is gonna ask for your phone number if you make this cocktail."
So you only lose your man card if you have 2. Stick with the one. Do not raise your pinky. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
So what'd you can do is just a little lemon on
Raise
the
the
rim.
pinky, keep the pinky
Squish up a
down.
candy cane, and then you can get a cute little rim on it
Great.
too.
So can we see? Do we have any of these beautiful? Well, one cocktail has left the building, obviously, the Manhattan. So yeah, French 75 Manhattans, and also the Kiss Me Santa. It's just that easy. It's just that easy.
Mr. Somm,
Oh, we.
are any of these cocktails that could be made if you're entertaining a large group in a pitcher, so that you're not standing at the bar making cocktail after
One bottle to one bottle. Ice and good times by the end of
You
the
don't need
evening.
your theatrics or anything to be extra
Absolutely.
special.
Well, you know, the theater is a part of it. Don't forget the theater. You know, it's in the whole experience of it. So
I like doing champagne cocktails a lot
Yes.
of times too because you can have kind of like rim your glasses ahead of time if you have any garnishes, have all that part prepped ahead of time. And then a lot of times I'll do like a little bit of a simple syrup or something into a champagne cocktail. And those sort of things, I'll have those prepared ahead of time too.
great.
Very good.
Awesome. So, you know, let's not forget, because it is Christmas, because you're spending time with your loved ones, make sure you have your circle of trust really tight. The food is great. The cocktails will be great. It's the company that absolutely counts. Let's not forget that. You could have the average wine, and that average wine will be amazing. And don't forget to be with the ones you love, and just... That's all I can say. I'm sorry. Did I get a little heartfelt? But that's just
Cue
that simple.
Oprah.
Absolutely. I'll be having the moment. Hold me.
All right. Well,
And
thank
don't
you.
forget the meatballs.
Don't forget the meatballs.
Don't forget the meatballs, ladies and
Yeah, you
gentlemen.
want to try?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are we
I
still,
didn't feed
are we
him
still
today.
cooking?
It's the least I could do.
Are we still cooking? Are we still?
We're done.
Okay, no, but
Now
we have
let's eat.
cocktails. Could we
Thank you
invite?
for joining us today very much. I'll put that safe. We're so glad you could join us. You can follow me on Facebook at Backyard Brunch. You can follow this clown at Napa Valley Song.
You married it.
And if you follow us on ToutSuite, you can see when our next show is coming up. We're going to be doing chili.
Cool. Can we invite the rest of the crew here? Can we invite the rest of the peeps? Come on down.